Hello and welcome to my June 2023 dividend portfolio recap. For those of you that are new here, my name is Troy. I'm 28 years old and I currently live in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and my goal is to retire early at just 50 years old. At the end of each month, I provide a transparent peek into all of my portfolios while going over all the moves I made and sharing my progress towards my goal of financial independence using dividends. If you yourself are a dividend investor looking for motivation, ideas, or education, please consider subscribing to the channel. My content includes monthly updates from my own portfolio, top stocks to review for the week, and even interviews with other dividend investors in the space so you can become the best dividend investor you can be. With that being said, I just got back from vacation and this review is already late, so let's jump right into it. First, let's take a look at my taxable account here on Fidelity, aka my Retire Early account. Over here on the left, you can see my 11 holdings. Here with this chart, you'll be able to see how the account balance of this account has grown so far this year. Beginning of the year, the account balance was at $25,131.92. Concluding May, my account balance was sitting at $37,685.33. And now, concluding June, my account balance now sits at $41,491.20. Some things of note on this account is that it's important to remember that $7,000 of that account balance is my emergency fund that is held in SPAXX, collecting the current 4.75% interest. As mentioned in the previous recaps, the rest of this year will be 100% focused on investing as much as possible into this taxable account, as my Roth IRA has been maxed out for 2023. There will be some nice growth to track for the last half of 2023 in this account, so stay tuned. With that being said, as of July 10th, the day this video goes live, I will be able to add $1,427.43 in investable money to this account to spend for the rest of July. In combination with the slight remaining cash I had in this account, my total investable amount in July will be $1,460.44. Next, let's go over the biggest winners in this account. My best performer in this account is ExxonMobil, that's up 31.3% or $797.66. My second best performer is Apple, that's up 20.97% or $735.06. And rounding out the top three, we have Microsoft, that's up 17.25% or $604.59. Now, with me being fully transparent, I also wanted to show you my biggest losers in this account. My worst performer is currently NextEra Energy, that's down 9.65% or $245.70. The runner-up is Pool Corp, that's making a nice comeback from last month, but is still down 2.15% or $68.30. And then my third worst stock is APD, that's down 1.02% or $25.89. Lastly, let's look down here at the bottom of the screenshot to see that this account is currently in the green 8.17% or $2,602.93. All right, next, let's check to see how this account stacks up versus the three major indexes year to date. On this screenshot, you'll be able to see two different rates of return, time-weighted and money-weighted. Simply put, the time-weighted is best used if there's no money going in or out of the account, while the money-weighted is best used if there is. I can make a video that explains this in more detail if you would like. Let me know that down in the comments. Since money is now being added to this account, the money-weighted best fits my situation. You can see that I have a year-to-date return of 16.13%, and that is being slightly outperformed by the S&P 500 and massively outperformed by the tech-heavy NASDAQ to this point this year. Next, let's head over to my dividend tracking spreadsheet to check out my buys for this past month. June marks the second full month that I was adding to this account in 2023. Here you can see what I bought, how much I spent, the average cost of each position, and how much it added in forward income. I spent the most money on Apple, which was $281.56. I added the most shares of NextEra Energy, which was 2.753 shares, and APD added the most in forward income, adding $10.70. In total, I was able to spend $2,498.23 to get 15.069 shares over the span of 15 trading days in June, which results in $60.74 in added forward income. Next, let's see what this does to the share counts in this account. Beginning 2023, this account had a total of 167.947 total shares, or an average of 15.267 shares per holding. Concluding May, this same account had a total of 187.185 shares, or an average of 17.017 shares per holding. And at the close of June, I'm now sitting at 202.233 total shares, or 18.3 0.384 average shares per holding. You can see the growth of this account over the first half of the year, and that's only with funds being added over the past 2 months. Make sure you're subscribed and tune in each month to track the exciting progress of this account from this point forward. Next, let's look at the current yield and changes to the cost basis of the positions in this account. My yield on cost for this portfolio is now sitting at 2.04%, which is down from the 2.05% from May. This is due to the positive momentum of my portfolio as a whole over the past month. Now I wanted to outline the changes in cost basis over the past month. Here you can see that my largest increase in cost basis is with Microsoft going from $284.11 per share to $287.60 per share, while my largest decrease in cost basis goes to Pool Corp that went from $376.16 per share to $373.73 per share. Remember, in this case, an increase in cost basis is not the desired outcome, but as your current holdings become worth more money over time, they cost more than they used to, so it is what it is. Next, I wanted to show you my projected annual income for this account. Beginning 2023, I had a yearly projection of $494.51, which comes to $41.21 per month, or $1.35 per day. As of the end of May, those numbers went to a yearly projection of $601.54, which is $50.13 per month, or $1.65 per day. And now, concluding June, I'm sitting at projections of $649.78 for the year, which comes to $54.15 per month, or $1.78 per day. Next, let's see who paid me in June and how much I made in passive income. In total, I received 4 dividend payments and 1 interest payment. On June 1st, I received $4.73 from Visa that was dripped, getting me 0.021 free shares. On June 8th, I received $7.43 from Microsoft that was dripped, getting me 0.022 free shares. On June 9th, I received $26.88 from ExxonMobil that was dripped, getting me 0.248 free shares. On June 15th, I received $13.65 from NextEra Energy that was also dripped, getting me 0.184 free shares. And on June 30th, I received $31.86 as an interest payment on the cash I had sitting in the account. In total, I was able to add 0.475 free shares via the drip for the month of June. Next, let's see what that totals up to and check for the year-over-year growth of the income in this account. Here I like to check to see how the growth of my income is going when compared to itself. June of 2020 was my second month in my journey, bringing in a total of $3.02. Then in June of 2021, I made an impressive leap to $31.68, which represented a 949% year-over-year increase. The following year, in June of 2022, I actually fell 17.7% to $26.08 due to a portfolio change from the previous June. And that brings us to June of 2023, where I made another impressive jump to $84.55, which is up 224.2% from just 12 months ago. If you look here, you can see that in just the first half of 2023, I'm up to $345.37 in dividends in this retire early account, which is already more than I made in the same account for all of 2022. That is proof of the dividend snowball and a major source of motivation for me. Next, let's go over the account that's made the biggest amount of progress so far in 2023 in my Roth IRA. Looking here, you can see all 7 of the holdings in this account here on the left side of the screen. Beginning the year, the account balance was sitting at $46,616.47. Concluding May, that bumped to $54,686.69. And now, concluding June, my account balance now sits at $59,353.34. Some quick housekeeping notes on this account. For those of you that have been keeping up, you know that I am done adding to this account for the rest of 2023. The remaining cash in this account, which was $11.22, I will keep in there to generate some kind of interest for the remainder of the year, since all the holdings in this account only pay out in March, June, September, and December. It won't be much at all, but it'll make me feel better about myself seeing small amounts of money every month. Next, let's dive into my biggest winners in this account. My best performer in this account is Tesla, that's up 55.44%, or $3,003.92. My second best performer is QQQM, that is up 13.17%, or $713.52. And rounding out the top 3, we have VOO, that's up 7.66%, or $1,660.64. Now, let's see the flip side of the coin with my biggest losers. My worst performer is QQQJ, that's down 5.2%, or $281.45. Second place goes to SCHD, that's down 1.59%, or $85.94. And my third worst holding is VNQ, that's down 1.17%, or $63.14. An honorable mention to SPYG, who is holding the middle ground outside the top and bottom 3, that's up 4%, or $216.94. Lastly, let's look down here at the bottom of this screenshot to see that this account is now up 9.53%, or $5,164.49 overall, which for those of you that were here last month know the same account was up 3.67%, or $1,987.01. In just the past month, this account went from up $1,987.01 to up $5,164.49 with no more money added, which is pretty sweet. Keep in mind that the timeline for this account is 9.5 years longer than that of my retire early account, so there is a total of 31.5 years to let the compounding work in this account. Next, let's check to see how this account stacks up versus the three major indexes. Again, we have the time weighted and money weighted returns, and we will use the money weighted since cash has been added this year, which results in a 16.77% year-to-date return, which is only outperforming the Dow Jones so far this year, but we are making some gains on the S&P 500 since last month's recap. Keep coming back throughout the year to see if we can finish chasing down the S&P 500 and catch up to the NASDAQ before the end of the year. Now, I didn't spend any of my own money in this account this month, but I did add to some of my positions via the drip. Let's see what the drip was able to help me accomplish this month. Here you can see that the drip helped with the following. For QQQJ, I added 0.387 shares at an average cost of $25.61, which added 8 cents in forward income. For QQQM, I added 0.059 shares at an average cost of $149.76, which added 38 cents in forward income. For SCHD, I added 0.689 shares at an average cost of $71.01, which added $1.01 in forward income. And for SPYG, I added 0.289 shares at an average cost of $60.06, which added 25 cents in forward income. In total, I received 1.424 free shares via the drip in June, adding $1.72 in forward income. Next, let's check on the progress of the share counts in this account. Beginning 2023, this account had a total of 149.6 total shares, or an average of 21.37 shares per holding. Concluding May, the same account had a total of 558.38 shares, or an average of 79.768 shares per holding. And at the close of June, I'm now sitting at 560.72 total shares, or 80.103 average shares per holding. The progress made in this account for 2023 has been something to be proud of for sure. While the progress will slow down a lot for the rest of the year since I'm done adding funds, I will be sure to keep you posted on this account as progress is made. Next, let's look at the current yield of this account and the cost basis movement of these positions. My yield on cost for this portfolio is sitting at 1.73%, which is 0.08% higher than the 1.65% yield on cost last month, due to the raises from my ETF holdings in this account. Here, you can see that each of my holdings in this account had a reduction in cost basis over the past month, with my largest decrease coming from VOO that went from $375.66 per share to $374.21 per share. The fact that my dividends were not only able to add to my positions in this account this month, but the dividends reinvested also lowered my cost basis makes me really happy with this month's progress. Next, let's look at my projected annual income for this account. Beginning 2023, I had a yearly projection of $135.64, which comes out to $11.30 per month, or 37 cents per day. As of the end of May, those numbers went to yearly projections of $894.18, which is $74.52 per month, or $2.45 per day. And now, concluding June, I'm up to exciting projections of $936.67 for the year, which comes out to $78.06 per month, or $2.57 per day. This month featured a lot of raises for my ETF holdings in this account, which in combination with my dividends being reinvested, resulted in a more than $40 increase in projected income, which is pretty good since I added none of my own money. Next, let's see who paid me in June and how much I made in passive income. March, June, September, and December are my best months in this account, as that's when all of my holdings pay out, and here you can see those payouts and my all-important interest payment received this month from SPAXX from the cash that was in the account. On June 23rd, I received $17.36 from SPYG that was dripped, getting me 0.289 free shares. Also on June 23rd, I received $8.80 from QQQM that was dripped, getting me 0.059 free shares. Still, on June 23rd, I received $9.90 from QQQJ that was dripped, getting me 0.387 free shares. On June 26th, I received $48.90 from SCHD that was dripped, getting me 0.689 free shares. And on June 30th, I received 7 cents as an interest payment on the cash sitting in the account. VNQ and VOO, my highest yielder in this account and my biggest holding, both pay out in July for some reason, so those will be covered on next month's recap. Now let's go ahead and add that to the spreadsheet and see what it does to the totals and year-over-year growth for the generated income in this account. Here I like to check to see how the growth of my income is going when compared to itself. I started my Roth IRA in August of 2021, so I do not have any 2021 June numbers to report. Moving over to June of 2022, I was able to bring in $19.45 in dividends, which brings us to June of 2023, where I brought in $85.03, which is a 337.2% increase from the previous June. Down here, you can see that I'm now over $500 for 2023, which is over 3.5 times what was brought in all of 2022. Before we go, I'd like to round up all this information so we can see my portfolios as a whole. First up, let's see the share count improvement and what percentage of my portfolio is now in dividend paying holdings. To start 2023, I had a total of 518.474 shares, which is an average of 23.567 shares, with 53.89% of those investments being in dividend paying holdings. Concluding May, I was up to a total of 953.14 shares, or an average of 43.325 shares, with 93.18% of my investments being in dividend paying holdings. And now I'm at 973.407 total shares, or an average of 42.322 shares per holding, with an exciting 93.816% of my investments being in dividend paying holdings. Now let's see the projected forward income from all those shares in my portfolio. Beginning the year, I had a yearly projection of $745.30, which comes to $62.11 per month, or $2.04 per day. As of the end of May, those numbers went to a yearly projection of $1,629.22, which is $135.77 per month, or $4.46 per day. And now, concluding June, I have exciting projections of $1,711.49 for the year, which comes to $142.62 per month, or $4.69 every day. The last thing I want to cover is the total passive income received for June and check for growth. You can see that I have history for the month of June going back to 2020 in this screenshot. Quickly going over them, we have June of 2020 where I made $3.02. Then we moved to June of 2021 where I made $31.68, which was a 949% year-over-year increase. Next up was June of 2022, where I made $45.62, which was a 44% year-over-year increase. And finally, this year in June, where I made a total of $197.02, which is a 331.9% year-over-year increase. If you look down here at the bottom of this chart, you can see that concluding June, I officially eclipsed my income for all of 2022 in the first 6 months of 2023. Keep coming back each and every month to see how high we can get that bar for 2024. If you made it to this point in the video, first I want to say thank you for watching, and be sure to leave your June amounts in the comments down below. The amount you make today, no matter how big or small, will be nothing compared to where it'll be in the future if you keep on the right path. These videos do take me a good amount of time to put together, so if you want to show your support for the channel, please consider leaving a like on the video and then subscribe and ring the bell so you guys don't miss any of my other dividend related content. If you do ring the notification bell, let me know down in the comments by commenting #BellSquad so I can thank you. And I recently started a new series here on my channel where I interview others in the dividend investing space to hear their story. There are some great lessons from each and every interview that you can use to help you become the best dividend investor you can be. If you happen to miss any of those, check them out in the playlist linked right here. But until next time, see you.